I went to the biggest porn convention of the year as a Christian. And have I got a story to tell you? Actually, I have a lot of stories, but we're going to start with one. In October 2024, God spoke to me and told me that there was the biggest adult expo in Las Vegas, and it was the biggest one of the year. Sure enough, I go on Google and I find out, yep, it's in January. And so I gathered a team, we prayed, and we got together, raised money, flew out to Las Vegas this January. And there were so many incredible testimonies. But one thing that I learned primarily, because God has sent me into places, he sent me into witch festivals, to raves, to music festivals. He sent me into bars. He sent me downtown. He sent me into Pride. And because I have such a multifaceted background, I have a language for these groups of people. So when God asked me, I said yes, of course. And the thing about these events is you cannot go in with an agenda. Jenny's plan doesn't work. I have to listen to God's plan and God alone, because he knows what he is doing. And so we were sent primarily to sow seeds. And you can't go in using Christianese. People don't like that. They don't understand that. Again, it builds walls instead of bridges oftentimes. And in those events, you can even get kicked out for praying for people and things like that, like disrupting basically the atmosphere. And so I call myself a sniper Christian, and that's exactly what we did. But there was one opportunity where I did get to pray with some of the talent, as they call it. We were walking around going to different booths, and I stopped at one, and it just had like a bunch of rubber ducks in water. And I was like, can I touch this? Like, my neurodivergent brain just wants to like touch and grab at everything. And so I was like, can I touch this? And we had a really funny conversation, and she also was neurodivergent. And so we just had an immediate connection there, and we were laughing a lot, and we were talking, and she was telling me how she has like arthritis in her body, and she has so much pain, and she got this mineral bracelet that's supposed to help her. No, it's not witchcraft. It was like a science thing. And so we were talking through that, and I heard like the Holy Spirit like give me the green light, like ask her if she wants prayer. Now, there was not one person in that entire expo that I had conversations with where God said ask them if they want prayer. So you have to be so discerning in these environments. And so I said, can you come here real quick? And I got really close to her, and I said, I'm going to ask you something really weird. And she said, okay. And I said, do you believe in God? And she like got kind of nervous. She goes, yeah, I actually do. She goes, I'm a Christian. She has been in this industry for 15 years. She says, I'm a Christian. I say, you are? And I said, oh my gosh, can I pray for you? Because I've seen people get healed, and I want to pray for your healing. And she was like, okay. And I said, I won't be weird. I'll make it super quick. She was like, okay. I was like, I'll just even keep my eyes open. So I just grabbed her hands. We actually did both bow our heads, and I said it super quick, a super quick prayer. There was prophetic words in there, and she was in tears. And you know what was happening while I was praying? Because I do deliverance as well. A demonic spirit was manifesting. God said, not the time. Not the time. Just because you see a demon manifesting doesn't mean it's the time to cast it out, okay? And we can talk more about that in another video. But her whole face began twitching. I prayed for her. Peace came over her. She got my social media. She literally ordered my book or put it in her Amazon cart because she was so interested, and she's a reader. And we got each other's numbers, and she lives only a couple hours from me. So I don't know what the Lord is going to do, but I got to pray with her. I got to sow seeds. I got to encourage her that this is not like your life sentence, because she does take care of her family financially, a lot of it. And I'm not going to go in depth into her story because I do want to respect her as a person, but this is not necessarily what she wants to be doing anymore. And her son is getting older, and there's some fear there. And so I just prayed for there to be breakthrough in that area. And guess what? She even goes to church, and she's a pastor. She got saved 5 years ago. And so her pastor, I don't even know who he is, but bless that man, because he prays with her. He doesn't rebuke her. He doesn't tell her to get out of his church. He goes, yeah, I'll pray for you. And he prays for breakthrough. And I just love the Lord because he sends 4 unassuming Christians into this convention. And of all the hundreds of people to talk to, I got to speak with her. How intentional is God? And so it was a beautiful testimony where there was prophecy. I'm believing that there's healing in her body. We got each other's numbers, and I'm just going to continue to pray for her. So it was so amazing, you guys. I just wanted to be there for the whole time. I was only there for one day. It was a 4-day event. I wanted to be there I wish that I had been there longer. And so I cannot wait for the next event. I cannot wait for what God is doing with these people and what he's going to do in the future. And so pray for me, pray for my team, pray for our discernment, wisdom, provision, finances, resources, time. Like, pray, because I just love what God is doing. And I just have a sense of revival in my heart for these darker industries. God still loves every single one of them. He cares and he goes after the one. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I love you and I can't wait to tell you more. Bye.